Hello, everybody. This is me, Martel. I want to talk on something that I want to say. Trex had actually made a video I just saw right now. He was saying how today's modern workforce is misery and toxic. And I'm actually going to say this on my business account. Actually, today's workforce is totally toxic. For one thing, just for today, I went to 2 job interviews, and suddenly, all of a sudden, they both require me to reapply again online. After I just applied, say, like, for example, Indeed, snag a job. You know, this time I'm going to keep it clean, professional here. I feel like that's totally disrespectful for the employers. Like, now they're giving me an indication. They say they want to hire me all of a sudden, but they want me to do all this reapplying again. I said, no. I was like, why you didn't take that the first time around when I applied for Indeed and snag a job? And the way they got these so-called online applications is straight up garbage. And I deal with this for over, 10-something years with this, you know what I'm saying? And it's always been awful for me. It's so bad, even the so-called disability work programs, that they basically fail too. It's like, even they are confused how to work the blasted, online applications. If it ain't through Indeed or snag a job, I don't even bother wasting my time, because I'm not going to sit here and waste hours and hours away for some crummy, always failing websites. You know what I'm saying? It's redundant how they don't care about employees. You know what I'm saying? But they had the nerve to audacity to complain that these companies had the audacity to say, why don't nobody want to work for them? Oh, you don't want workers. These companies and corporations, they don't want workers, you know? And unlike my main channel, I'll be doing all the worst. This one, I'm keeping it more conservative here. As Mr. Martez here, I'm actually more disgusted to the modern day workforce is purely miserable and purely toxic. And I speak this for 15 years of working retail, working odd jobs, dead-end jobs, janitorial jobs. I've been so disrespected on workforces and stuff. I've been harassed. I've been threatened. I've been physically threatened too. You know what I'm saying? And I don't want to discuss that there because it is mostly business, but that's the nature of the beast, basically, And I feel for young people why they quit their jobs. But I'm not sure the exact numbers now, but I think like over almost 10 million people have quit their jobs throughout the country, and they also have labor shortages. Like I just showed, even on TikTok and so forth. I run that's my business account. There's hardly no workers there, hardly any people there, So you're not getting no full interaction with anybody, But usually I discuss the True Force Lonely videos about that on my main channel. But here I want to say something actual Trex about today's modern day workforce is straight up toxic and misery, and I co-sign where he's coming from, And no job ain't worth going there miserable. Dealing, the work is not the hard part. It's putting with people. It's a beast. Now you gotta deal with disrespectful employees, so-called co-workers. I'm very glad for the few I got. That's so kind to me. I'm so glad. Oh my God, I'm so glad. Outside of that, only a very seldom few. And as I was putting down references, I don't know why jobs even want references, but only have very seldom few because those are when I actually call and they return my phone calls. So I'm thankful for them. And they ain't got to do this, you know what I'm saying? So not only these so-called companies and corporations I consider others, so they ain't consider, but they don't think about the bottom line, the dollar bills, So hey, I don't knock that's capitalism and all that, but here's where the problem. If you start treating workers like garbage, I don't feel remorseful. Let them continue to suffer. My fault is that I'm going to my last job interview tomorrow, and I admit I love, just being real, I love Taco Bell, but if they keep pulling the same mess as the other 2 jobs, what was that? Chick-fil-A, Arby's, and so tell me to reapply my application. I just feel like these jobs don't care for workers, And you're right, the young people today ain't putting up with it. They ought to do something else with their time besides just slaving away at some job. Now, you got to take in also consideration others outside myself. Let's say you have families, you got to take care of, food on the table, bills got to get paid. And so I respect that. Everybody got to get their utilities and rent paid and all that, you know what I'm saying? Or whatever basic needs and necessities or what you want, you know what I'm saying? However you want it, whatever you want. Ain't no judgment for me, but, you know, but to put up with toxic people for 15 years off and on jobs, yeah, this one, I'm just coming out the closet. It is negative, you know. And Trex, you're right. It is negative, you know. It is miserable, you know. And especially speaking of business, you know, that's also affected mental health in such a negative impact that, you know, it affects my normal way of life, you know what I'm saying? That I can't even function without dealing with. Not only that, also I'm dealing with another topic that's relatable, highly relatable, so-called programs and ADCs, like work programs, ADCs, and all that, refusing to help me find a job. Or if they do, like say for instance, I'm a disabled taxpayer and all that, I'm not going to discuss my medical history publicly for everybody, you know, for people are jerks, no disrespect, but as Mr. Martellus here, I'm trying to refrain myself from not coming off irrational like I do my main personal page, so I'm just trying to keep it clean here. I want to snap, you know, but if I do that, I would go down to a prison, you know. So it's really redundant of what I see young people doing. Now, I don't knock them, you know. So I want to actually say, first of all, you got my praise to all the young people quitting their jobs by the millions. Or just people in general, just got enough of being disrespected. I'm glad there's unions taking part, especially with this so-called pandemic going on. They're using this pandemic as an excuse. And all of a sudden, all these places and buildings office been closed for going on 2 years going on, apparently. And that's missing a lot of number work itself. Now, it's funny when I so-called deal with this disabled work agency, right? Which are never these scumbags. I just put it out there, Ohio with disabilities, you know, the government agency and all that. All of a sudden, and I'm looking for, you know, these programs, they basically refuse to help me. If they feel like helping me, their bare minimum is, okay, they give me some work clothes, that's it. I was very surprised last couple of years ago, right, going on near 2 years ago, I was working for a family barbecue restaurant and all that, and somehow they forcefully transfer me out there all the way to another part of town where the buses don't run that particular part of town. I'll be always late because I have no way to get there. And Uber and Lyft don't, you know, at the time, this was still the pandemic was going on. And hardly any Lyfts and Ubers are running, you know. And still kind of like that too now. It's like they don't run at nights, you know what I'm saying? So I can't work night shifts, you know. And a lot of these companies don't have consideration for them on, you know. And that's another thing. A lot of these so-called companies supposed to accommodate, supposed to be flexible hours. But if you don't work according to their deadlines and so forth, you don't work. You don't get a job or anything, you know. But I bet people got other, you know, obligations in life besides just slaving away at some job. You know, there's people that's going to school like myself. And that's another beast for another episode. Yeah, they got school, got other obligations in life besides just slave away some corporation being a puppet somewhere, you know. God knows how much you could, you know. And the reason I'm frustrated, because I felt the pain where Trex coming from. Because I speak this all the time, literally on my main channel, it's Martellus Cool. But here's Mr. Martellus said I'm kind of forced to refrain myself, you know, due to the nature of my page and all that. But it is for what it is, you know. And what job is worth replying and don't get back to me, or they say, oh, I'm sorry, that position be filled, oh, sorry, we'll come back to you later. So when I hear all that, you're not interested in work at the beginning when you're just wasting, you know, so-called lab, supposedly supposed to be free buses and stuff, free bus rides, but no, before this so-called pandemic, guess how much a bus pass costs? $30 a month. So that cost me, I'm looking, probably they're going to resume that back up. So it's already going to cost me $30 every month just to use the bus. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you sound reasonable, affordable, but the buses don't run on certain places. Don't run at certain times. They horrible. They never be on time unless you go to a certain place like where am I at the physical therapy by the mall. No, that's the only place that's actually reliable. Outside in that area, you game over. You know the buses do not run correctly, and what can you do in the workforce? Just make money and go home. You know what I'm saying? You can't really make friends, you know. A lot of people at the workforce, agents try to be your friends here to collect a check and cash out and bounce out. You know. And I've been dragging this a little bit too long, as Mr. Bartez is here. And the workforce is very toxic. You know, American workforce is so toxic, but what choice you got, you know? And I'm glad I'm disabled. That's one thing that's literally saved me right now from being homeless, you know what I'm saying? But that's like skating on thin ice, you know what I'm saying? And these programs, they don't help me. Programs, agencies, you name it, refuse to help me. But, you know, that's another beast of itself. And I ain't got no felonies. So I can always apply for a background check, so there ain't nothing me worry about on that end. But it's just people ain't got the tolerance to sit there, be disrespected, yell at. I've been more yelled at for 15 years, physically to verbally harassed at times at work. What paycheck is worth the disrespect? What paycheck is worth the disrespect? None of that at all, you know? No amount of money ain't worth the disrespect, you know what I'm saying? And, well, America on the verge of, bankruptcy. How long you think young people gonna, there ain't no workers? Oh, well. You know? And online applications are garbage. It most likely, for me, in my case, it never worked. Or if it does, they're just wasting my time and wasting money. They don't even have a decent, at least give you like a little sandwich or a snack or something besides a drink. I encourage a drink. I respect it. But you don't even have the only place I respect if I would apply for it, but they never got back to me. It was actually, actually respect, Chick-fil-A and also Chipotle. Chipotle actually gave me a meal one time though, And that's how I was applying for application. But other than that, I'm done with the workforce. If it's up to me, I'd rather do entrepreneurship, just being on social media. I'd rather get paid for being who I am. Paid to entertain people. Just, be a motivational speaker, I'd rather get paid for what I love. I love just talking to the people. So, Trex, you're right. Toxic workforce is misery. And I'm out.